Limos and Roses is a humorous and occasionally offensive podcast. All opinions are based on the bachelors and bachelorettes being in the top 99 percentile of their respective genders with regard to their physical attributes. The Limos and Roses podcast fully supports the LGBT community. Any reference to a bachelor or bachelorette's sexual preference is merely conjecture based off of observations. In other words, no offense. And thank you for listening. Enjoy.
Hello, and welcome to the very 39th podcast of Limos and Roses. It's never going to work.
It always cuts out.
It's like screaming in outer space.
Yeah. This, of course, is the ghost hunting, no Chris Harrison, semi-sober bachelorette, maybe it's married podcast that you all know and love. The recap podcast over all other recap podcasts that covers season 16 of The Bachelorette. Thank you so much for showing up. As you may or may not know, this very show began with our own Bachelor Fantasy League entitled Limos and Roses. On this podcast, I am joined by my husband,
Jet!
And our buddy,
Brace.
And me. I am your host and moderator, Chelsea. So I'm going to speed through this dramatic intro, but I believe Jet might have a brief montage for us.
Noah's Ark rivals. Kryptonite. Faux wedding. Feeling all the feelings. Emotional deficiencies. Falling in love. And a likely double date drop.
I loved emotional deficiencies.
Yeah.
Let's begin with some visiting time from JoJo Fletcher for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, it was the casual and typical, hey, we're going to bring on your TV friend and make television. Yeah.
I said best friends, I'm sure.
Yeah. Very close friends. And I said, JoJo takes over for Chris. I'm skeptical.
Yeah.
So after all of this JoJo chatting, we go back to the ranch. There's a date card and it goes to Zach C.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for a man I can picture a future with, but he has secrets. So we head right into the date breakdown.
Breakdown.
Now, here's my personal opinion. This whole one-on-one Zach C date is all about this fabulous photographer becoming famous, and I'm sure Phrase has words about him for the corner, but he's going to save them. This wedding photo date, the underscoring is a lot. Go to text.
What a terrible idea for a first date.
I think they added to the drama of that. I think they could have taken it a little less seriously. I was like, just pretend like you're playing dress up and move on with your lives. I think that the music added to the drama of this date. It was just so dramatic, and it was telling us how dramatic it was, and they were showing us her dramatic faces. And because I could see there being flashbacks of, oh, I did this for real.
I have a prediction.
Okay.
I don't particularly like this guy, but my prediction is that he wins.
Oh, wow. That is
saying it here
that's
first.
A bold prediction. Yeah, that's a big one.
I just have a feeling that she's going to make a series of errors and pick this guy.
Don't they always?
Yeah.
That's probably your reasoning is you're like, well, I don't think he should win, therefore he will. During this whole date, I couldn't hear a damn thing that he was the waterfalls, and I was like, did they not put lavaliers on these guys?
Well,
No.
They do chat, and Zach mentions his divorce, which takes her by surprise.
Yeah.
But we know that it takes her by surprise because his divorce has a much bigger story to it.
My verdict is still out on this guy. I'm just not, he's just not as easy to love as the others. That doesn't mean he doesn't deserve love.
She's like, oh my God, you were married too. You were married. Like half these guys have been divorced. And I'm like, well, welcome to bringing adults onto the show and not 23-year-olds.
I really want to talk about that later because my overall arching theme of the whole episode is that these are great guys. And I think it has to do with maturity, not per se age, but these guys have lived some life. And, you know, like this guy covers a DUI, an arrest, drugs, and suicide, divorce, theft, and spiritual clarity and rehab all in a first date. So this guy, say what you will,
you left
he is
a brain
open.
tumor. We're only laughing because he's okay. So
we're laughing because it's uncomfortable, because when you hear somebody
crazy.
say all that stuff, you're just like, oh my, I mean, in that moment, you're like, I just want to give this guy a hug, you know?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
So,
but to get back to their date, he did go with the smooth move of whispering in her ear, and he was like, what did he say? He said something like, "I'm sorry, I'm at loss for words because I get lost in your gaze."
Yeah. Before he said brain tumor, I said, that's a douche move.
Well, I wrote smooth move, but they can coexist. But I wrote smooth move, and it was funny because my iPhone auto-corrected it to smoothie, and it also auto-corrected lavaliers to lava liars. And I was like, lava and smoothies was last week, iPhone. Can we get past all that? You know, ridiculous.
So Tayshia says, thanks for sharing. But we go back to the ranch. And back at the ranch, Bennett complains. Noah also wants a one-on-one. And there's a group date card. So this group date card, I'm going to announce at the beginning of the group date because it makes more sense. And then we go to the second nighttime portion of the date where Zach Clark gets a rose. And she appreciates him opening up, and there's a surprise for him, which is a Ferris wheel that stops at the top, and they make out, and she really does like him, I think. She will.
You know, when I say that I don't know about this guy, it's only because it's terrible to say I get a feeling, but it's just I get a feeling.
Well, it's just it wasn't just like one major thing. It was a lot of things, and trust becomes an issue when people, you know, screw up. The more that happens in life, that even if you're supportive, you can be supportive of someone without fully trusting them.
Moving on to the group date, you guys. All right. Express yourself. This is the group date with Spencer, Ivan, Ed, Blake, Brendan, Riley, Damar, Bennett, Ben, and Noah. It begins with them walking into this art studio and two naked people, but then they end up not having to be naked. Let's talk a little bit about this experience and the different types of art that they encounter.
Well, I actually really enjoyed this group date, first of all, and I think guys crushed it. Once again, I think a really creative use of a quarantine type situation and a really creative date. And yeah, I think it was great. I mean, I have some more like details to go into, but Jet, what are your thoughts on it? No,
I agree. I think it was one of the better group dates I've seen. And she shows that clearly on the back end of it, just with her reaction in general. But I did laugh particularly. Let's throw Ed some cred for a second, some Ed cred. When he said, just casually just says, it's all about the fern. He just said it's all about the fern.
Hilarious.
I was like, it just made me laugh because he's just sitting there all like, because he's kind of ho-hum. He's like a little bit like Eeyore, but I think he's got a sense of humor.
Brendan with the frame.
Oh yeah, dude. Totally.
I thought that in terms of creativity, that was like my favorite.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You know, and then I said, and Ivan is just like
I know the puzzle.
That is like the nicest.
It was great.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I was like, man, like he's like melting my heart. You know, like what is he?
He filled.
Who is he? Chris Harrison?
Right.
He filled a puzzle right with the last remaining piece or something, and that was. I thought that was clever as well.
Jet, this was the first time where I was sitting there thinking, like, if Jet and I were on this, like, we would have had some competition.
I'm like, wait, so other humans aren't as dumb as I like to think they are.
Right. Just because they have six packs means they're not dumb. Oh man.
Right? Good thing I'm already married.
I agree with you guys. I think all these guys did a phenomenal job, really, really opened up. It closes with Ben, who ends up, and we get into, he actually opens up in the nighttime portion of the date, but
he opened up fully before that.
Yeah,
but before
he was a flowering lotus or something.
More like a praying mantis. That's kind of the look he has, in my opinion. He looks a little bit like a praying mantis. No offense, Ben.
I look like Ben. I like.
Well, I look like a Neanderthal. I'll take it. I think that the Neanderthal can call a man a praying mantis.
I actually wanted to talk about the naked move. Yeah. I was not a fan.
Same.
I get what he was going for.
I think he just realized he was crushed creatively. He was crushed, and he was like, I don't have an idea. Naked.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I get the being vulnerable and everything like that, but you're not that vulnerable when you're built like a brick house. Like,
That's a good point.
what I think happened was he did that art. He took the challenge literally, saw what other guys were doing, and was like, I've got to pivot. I've got to pivot major. Yeah.
Omaha.
It was an audible.
Omaha.
Yeah.
Omaha.
So then I keep going back and forth this whole episode because then I'm like, smart move.
Yeah.
Actually, really good move.
You just didn't like the way he did it and the way he was acting. I think if he'd had more fun with it.
Although later.
As we go into the nighttime portion of the date, Tayshia says, hey, you guys really put yourselves out there today. I can't just pick one. You know, the producers or this art lady who's very nice. We can't just pick one person. So all of you are coming to a nighttime cocktail party. And in this nighttime portion of the date, Ben actually opens up about his eating disorder, his struggle with bulimia, and how that's the reason that he has ventured into fitness and nutrition because he struggled with it for his whole life.
Yeah. So I was reading my notes as they, unfold.
Right.
And it's nice to do that because I said, I don't like this move. But then when he opens up about his issues dealing with weight loss and being a fat kid, essentially, I was like, oh, now that I have this in hindsight, I actually like the move a lot. And he did. And in his mind, he was standing there being extremely vulnerable. And he, in his mind, still views himself as a fat kid. So all makes sense that was his biggest, most vulnerable thing, is to strip down and show what he's working with now. And Tayshia nails it on the head. She says, this is what happens when you start to date real men.
I have something to tie into with exactly what Frace was just saying is Frace, in bringing on these elder gentlemen, I think what happens is, you're hearing about divorce, you're hearing about addiction, you're hearing about all this stuff. And it's people in their early to mid 30s to late 30s, some of them. So in their 30s, talking about what used to be. Mm-hmm. And usually you have a bunch of people in their 20s, early 20s, talking about what will be, while they are still literally in that used to be thing that they're hiding. They're all so insecure. They're hiding who they really are. They probably have addictions of their own. They haven't been divorced yet because they're on a game show to find love for the first time because they're 23. This is just real. Like you said, it's authentic. It's real. It's really cool to watch and far more entertaining, honestly, even though it's not as funny.
Well, honestly, I'm thinking about this even in terms of our podcast. We're not funny. Like we're funny, but we're not there's not as much stuff to make fun of. Because how do you make fun of somebody who's bearing their soul and not in that fake saccharine sort of way? It seems, exactly what we're saying.
We're having to rely on our personalities for humor.
Right, exactly.
Oh, God.
Can we throw some puns in here for God's sake?
Yeah, we got to fix this.
So we get to the end of this group date and Tayshia goes through her multiple choice of guys. And right before she says the word Ben, the music is cued. And it's very beautiful and lovely and sweeping and dramatic. And she says he showed up. And will he accept this rose?
I think it's interesting. I like what she does. And it kind of gives the guys a little more confidence, or less for that matter. She always sets up who her runners-up were for the rose.
Oh,
she always,
yes,
she always points
that.
out. It's like saying you almost got it, but you're getting one at the ceremony. Come on, take it easy. That's what she's doing.
Yeah, and
relax.
I think it's nice. It's words of affirmation too for these guys that it says listen, I know that you bared your soul to me and you did a great job, and I know that you missed your child, but this guy had a brain tumor.
Yeah,
Right.
And so, and you know what? Nothing fixes a brain tumor like a rose.
Yeah,
a little rose on the lapel.
Right.
Yeah. But it's and I also think that these guys, gosh, I really like this group of guys. I feel like they're, for the most part, kind of all just on each other's sides too. In a weird way. They're just kind of
well, Chelsea pointed that out. They're buddies. They've been quarantined together, which is a first for this show. So in that time without a female, you're going to bond. I mean, yeah, some people are going to butt heads, but when the girl's not around, it's not about the girl at all.
Anyway, Bennett and Noah get a talking to. So There's going to be a 2-on-1. Spoiler alert. But let's continue into the date breakdown.
Breakdown. 2.
Yeah. The second one, yeah.
Well done. We move right into the easy one-on-one. That isn't so easy. I hope you aren't scared of falling in love. This is the ghost hunting date, which, you guys, it's hilarious. It's this whole silly story about William Morgan and death and children, you know, that's on this property that obviously is now the La Quinta Resort because they can't leave the La Quinta Resort, go to Texas.
I was thinking the whole time, I was like, this is Chelsea's date. This is the one that she wants to be on. We all know you like Eazy, and we all know with the New Orleans thing, I feel like you'd be into like this, like, you know, going ghost hunting and having drinks date. And I was like, I would be myself. I was like, this is not the date for Andrew Frace. I would be like, what happened to Spa Day and Fashion Corner? Like, we have to go hunting for ghosts?
Yeah.
What?
Well, they needed that excuse to use that blue corn B-roll, dude, because they were rolling that out there a lot.
Yeah,
because the blue corn moon, dude, is a rare occurrence.
B-roll.
Yeah, dude.
But you know, I will say, Chelsea, you are right. I wasn't a huge fan of Eazy to begin with. I thought he was a little cocky and stuff. He's just a really nice, fun guy. He really, really is, and he handled this entire thing like a champ.
I did say that I thought that I think the haunted room was room 120. And I thought it'd be awesome if they knocked on the door and it opened and it was just Ed and Chris Harrison having champagne and strawberries again. Sorry,
that would be amazing.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
All right. Well, we are about to change into the nighttime portion of the date, but wait. Hold on a second. Do you guys smell that?
Did Frace shit his pants in the haunted house?
No, wait, no.
Oh.
It smells really good. It smells tasty. Like I think it's the warm, sizzling scent of Frace's Fashion Corner.
Oh my gosh, we're back in the corner. It's a virtual buffet of fashion, and I can smell it. What are those rompers? Activewear? We must be in the corner.
I don't know if I want to smell activewear.
Activewear, yeah. Well, I'm going to disagree. If it's Lululemon, I'm smelling it, okay? I'm just saying it. All right, now that we're here in the corner, we start off this episode with an oatmeal sweater, by the way, that Tayshia's in. Amazing for her complexion. It's a high-neck, pearled mini dress. Whoa, stunning, hot. JoJo's dress, let's talk about her. JoJo shows up. She takes over Chris Harrison. You know, I don't like that part about it, but also she's stunning. Is it a romper? Yes, it is a romper with a tie belt. Oh my gosh, she knows the way to my heart. White with an adorable puff sleeve and a low V-neck. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. And then an eyelet is the look of a cotton lace, by the way, for those listeners who don't know what eyelet is. She will be fun with a flower mini wrap dress in cobalt blue. That's another look of Tayshia's. By the way, we said it before, I'll say it again. Guys, there's like a few cardinal rules. One of them, terrible white high tops with the suit. Just get that out of your wardrobe, please, for my sake.
Why not just bring back pumps? Remember pumps? I owned a pair of pumps.
Oh yeah, hey
the
chumps.
Basketball.
Yeah, hey chumps, want a game? You know what does pump it up for me? That sexy little black dress that Tayshia's wearing. It's an LBD. Do you guys know what an LBD is? Little black
dress.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And she's got some high heels. All right, so let's go. I almost felt awkward being in the wedding dress corner before an engagement. How about you folks out there? Isn't that odd? Obviously, Tayshia looks stunning. I don't even know where to begin. It's a floral It's a floral applique. I get excited sometimes with these fashion corners. And it's a mermaid gown with a deep V and a waterfall train. I mean, like, let's just take a moment for that waterfall train.
Yeah.
The angels.
Lovely.
Anyways, the star of the show, Tayshia's boobs, the photographer's short shorts.
Yeah.
Star of the show. Number one, sequined asymmetric mini dress with keyhole back, and he's in blue paisley smoking jacket. Yes to her, no to him. Number 2, cutout silver dress with an underboob, and he's in another terrible paisley suit. 2 points for Tayshia, 0 points for him. Number 3, it's a princess cupcake pink gown, and he's in white satin moon suit or something with those freaking high tops. 3 for her, 0 for him. Ding, ding, ding. Tayshia wins all fashion corners. Let's go. I love her ring later on. She's got this amazing like double ring on. I don't know if anybody caught it. Also, pink satin cami and romper jeans. It's an adorable look. And she's got the stacked necklaces. And then there was the naked portion with Ben, and I said, no clothes, no fashion, no corner, but yes, art still, I guess. Okay, so guys, Tayshia wears a navy blue, adorable little robe, and I have to tell you guys a story. I know we're in the corner, but I have to tell you a story. Somebody, me, follows the Instagram account Style Spotter. Somebody, me, ordered that exact robe for his girlfriend. Claire wore the exact same look in floral weeks before. I was online, found it in navy, okay? Ordered it from Nordstrom's. Alicia's watching the show. She says, oh my God, I love that robe. So,
ding,
Andrew
ding, ding.
Brace,
Knockout for Andrew Brace.
Ever the Santa ho 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 has to go to the front door where the package is sitting and say, well, here's your early Christmas gift. Wear with love, wear in the corner. I'm so happy that you're in my corner.
So, after hopping out of the corner, we're going to hop on into the nighttime portion of this date where Eazy, hoppity hop, drops the L-bomb. Ugh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
I don't think Eazy knew. I think Eazy was falling in love with her or had strong feelings for her.
Yeah.
He didn't know much time together.
He didn't know that this was his last hurrah, but in that moment, saying those words made it so. It was really sad because they're walking out and he goes, is this really happening?
You know.
I think it was a classy move by Tayshia. I mean, I think Eazy handled it as best as you can. He didn't fight it or anything like that. It was a little early on to drop the L word, but, you know, if he was feeling it in the moment, you know what? He actually saved himself in the long run, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
I agree.
Dare we say he was blindsided?
Yeah,
He was.
He was
I felt really.
blindsided.
I did feel bad for him.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen often on this show.
All right. So we move on to the 2-on-1 announcement back at the ranch. Let's have a chat about the beginnings of this 2-on-1.
So,
And we know where it goes. They're both getting dropped. I mean, that's just a no doubter.
Bennett, I do think he has bonded with all of the guys in the house, except Noah and Spencer, who are the non-Claire guys.
right.
And
They
they
all
were.
get the
And
guys
that's
like
true.
Noah actually handled everything great, in my opinion. Like, I mean, like,
I agree.
we've said it once and we say it again. Like, just don't come for the other guys. It's just going to leave you on a 2-on-1, or it's going to get you in a limo.
I actually kind of dig both guys for their own reasons. But I don't really care about their spat because it doesn't feel real to me anyway. And
You guys, hold on a second. I just found this. Pop quiz!
oh wow. Okay.
Oh.
Question number 1. How many more episodes of The Bachelorette following this one occur before mental lull?
Not enough. I'm going to say 6.
Oh, I'm gonna say 4.
There's only one more episode of
What?
Bachelorette
What?
before mental lull.
Oh, it's gonna be like storming the beaches of Normandy next
Wait
week.
a minute.
Dude. That's gonna be
Wait.
like a bloodbath. I mean, that's
Oh my God,
that's
she's going to let
true
go like
difference.
how many? I mean, there's so many guys that are still left. That's why I said that.
It's going to be a
They're gonna
bloodbath. Question number 2. How many men are left at the end of this episode?
I'm gonna go with 11.
9.
Ooh, Jed is correct. There are 11. Now,
Oh.
So
Here's
she's
the
gonna
deal.
she's gonna cut that in more. I mean, I'm no mathematician, but that's a lot of blood.
yeah.
Yeah.
So here's
Well,
the
she flip-flop. I'm not a phlebotomist.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
Exactly.
We got there. We got there.
Yeah.
Thanks,
There's the
Jen.
blood.
She's used to get drawing as much blood as possible.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, so is the quite unusual story of the ghost hunting date with Eazy, Mr. William Morgan, based mildly on a real person in history?
I'll say yes.
I'll say yes as well. Somebody in 1917.
Oh.
I would assume that yes, it was a real person because it had a specific date tied to it.
Oh, interesting. Well, there was a William Morgan who was born in 1774. He was a member of the Freemason Society, the secret fraternal society, and he threatened to expose all the Freemason secrets in a book that he was going to publish. And so after he announced his intention to publish the book, he was arrested on charges and then disappeared soon after the charges were filed and is believed to have been kidnapped and killed by Masons from New York. William Morgan. And since New York City is how the three of us met, and we consider it to be a part of our hometown, really, it is officially that time of the season for our hometown hopefuls.
Okay.
So let's go Frace first. Frace, who are your top 4 for hometowns?
Zach is going to be one of them. Brendan, I think, will be another one. I'm also going to say Ben.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, I'm going to say Ivan. Those are my 4.
Those were my 4 too.
Yeah, that's pretty good, dude. I mean,
that's an eclectic group too.
So I'm gonna go Riley, Ivan, Ben, Zach C.
Now, I have another prediction, or an idea rather. She might be such that there's not 4 hometowns. It's also COVID land.
COVID.
So there might not be there might not be hometowns.
Zoom towns.
Maybe it'll be Zoom towns. Maybe she'll only do 2, like if it's like an actual real meet, like, where they have to like get tested and all that. Who knows what's going to happen?
I mean, your Zoom town.
I could see, dude, they could do a Zoom town, or I could see them being like, forget Zoom. There'll be some other company that reaches out and says like Skype will be like, we've been desperately trying to get back in the game. Hey, Bachelor, you can buy us for real cheap,
right,
and you can use Skype, and we'll advertise, and everybody will want to use Skype again because they'll see it on the show. I don't know, but yeah, I could see it being something like that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna close with a quote from the late great Chris Harrison.
He's not dead, Chelsea.
And it's from the previous season of The Bachelor with Peter and Madison. I wish them the very best, whatever that may look like. And this has been
Jets
and Frace
and Chelsea, leaving you with these parting hashtags. Hashtag show up. Hashtag boobs. Hashtag Chris Harrison. Hashtag Chris Harrison for Christmas. Hashtag no Chris Harrison. Hashtag JoJo Fletcher. Hashtag fashion corner. Hashtag Zoomcast. Hashtag pop quiz. Hashtag La Quinta. Hashtag L Bomb. Hashtag Bennett. Hashtag Noah. Hashtag William Morgan. Hashtag hometown hopefuls. Hashtag puns. We are all here for the right reasons. Bye, guys.
Hang on. Did you? So I believe actually whatever that looks like, as he said, as you just referenced, I believe it looked like 24 hours of a relationship, because didn't they break up literally the next day or 2 or something crazy? Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. And also, just real quick, did you guys notice on the Ferris wheel when Tayshia and Zach were on it, and his rose fell off, and I was like, oh, that's symbolic of something.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that is not good symbolism. A rose dropping to the ground, dude.
You got it.
Yeah, you don't want to drop a rose. You only want to drop a fresh track like Little John.
Everybody!